On our home page are a couple of testimonials. Something you might like to do is to have a whole list of testimonials and display 2 at random on the home page as an easy way to make the site a bit different each time someone visits. So I've decided to create a testimonials page. This is listing all of my testimonials as they come in, so I can go and I can add those. You can see them here in the Perch admin. So my content editor, as new testimonials show up, they'll add them here. And so here's that testimonials page. And you can see we've got Perch content testimonials. It's just regular Perch content. And here's testimonial.html, which is the template that I'm using to display that content. So this is just the same as all of the other things we've looked at so far in these videos. So on the home page, I want to select from those testimonials, but the content on the home page uses slightly different markup to what I'm using on my testimonials page. And I'd like to be able to pick these and display them at random, not just display all of them, because it might be that we have 100 testimonials. I don't want to show all of those on the home page, I just want 2. So I'm now going to create a second template. I'm going to use this testimonial.html, and I'm going to just use the fields that I want on the home page. So first let's save that. And if we call this one home testimonial, and I'll use an underscore which will hide it from the list when people can select templates, because we're just using this for Perch Content Custom. So then if I go to the home page and have a look, now here's what the testimonials look like. We've got this div and a class of testimonials, so let's have one of those so we can see what markup we actually need. So I can just pick out the bits from the original template when I'm doing this. So I want the customer name, so I'm going to have that given name. And also their family name. And this process of copying the bits out of the existing template is a good idea, because it means you'll make sure that you have the tags exactly right. Most of the problems with this kind of procedure is if you accidentally make a typo when you're retyping the tag, so by copying it, it kind of helps with that. So then we'll get their company information as well and pop that in here. And then we want their actual quote, so we'll take that. And we pop that into here. And we can now get rid of the information that we've been copying from and save that template. So now we need to use the template on our page using Perch Content Custom. So on index.php, we're just going to want to remove all of that content about the 2 testimonials. And then we're going to need to use Perch Content Custom. And this is for testimonials. And as well as saying testimonials here, I need to add an array. So you have the square brackets, which means an array. And inside the array, we need to add some options and their values. Now all of the different options you can find in the documentation for Perch Content Custom. So we'll start with page, and then we have this little arrowy thing, and the page is testimonials.php, and that's in the root of our site, so we need to start this with a /. And then after that, we need to have the template that we're going to use. So that's the template that we've just created. Otherwise, this will use the default template for the content. And these templates are relative to the content folder. So because this is right inside the content folder, we just need the actual template name. If you'd put a subfolder in there, you'd need to add the subfolder too. So that's home testimonial. And then we need to sort by something in the template. So I'm going to sort by family name. And sort order. And we want these to be displayed randomly, so that's going to be rand. And finally, I only want 2 of them, so let's have 2. And that's it. We can now save that. Now this kind of setup, an array with options and values, is pretty much all of the PHP that you need to do for Perch. You'll see the same for Perch Blog Custom and other custom functions that let you set up a few different options. You use one of these arrays. Now if we go back to our page, and if we reload this a few times, you should see different testimonials showing up. With only 3 items, it can be a little bit hard to get different ones to show. But if you add a large list of them, you should see different ones each time. So that's Perch Content Custom. Really useful if you want to display some content and use a different template, or show different items by random, or show just a few items from a list. That's the function you want to be looking at using.